Chaos and pettiness. Welcome to Black Investments Matter. I'm Antoine Anderson, and we are going to be talking about the mess that is our United States House of Representatives. YouTube standards won't even allow me to tell you what kind of a this is between these two individuals. And that's all it is. Because number one, when you have something this personal going this depth that is within your own caucus, your own party, and 8 members can hold your whole agenda, you have a problem. You have a problem. And there is no amount of word salad you can serve up, no verbal jujitsu you could practice that will change people's mind into thinking that this is nothing more than an inner party problem. And this at a time when the Republican Party might have been able to take a victory lap on the immigrant issue and the border policy issue. The Biden administration has to start building the walls for the funds that were appropriated during the Trump administration. But instead of focusing on that, we got to focus on these 8 individuals within the Republican Party that was able to oust a sitting speaker, first time in history, where one didn't resign, like John Boehner, Livingston, Paul Ryan, all Republican speakers of the houses resigning for different reasons, and they all have the same problems. The root problem was always there. That party is way too out of control. And the pettiness continues because the first order of business that the interim Speaker of the House, that's Mr. Patrick McHenry, the first thing he did was evict an 83-year-old Nancy Pelosi and an 84-year-old Steny Hoyer from their congressional offices, moving them God knows where, all at taxpayer expenses, while we kind of figure out what we're going to do within the next 40 days now before the government debt crisis comes to bat yet again. And this is just not a rant about a dysfunctional Congress. We've had dysfunction in Congress long before this issue reared its ugly head. But this is one that was particularly self-inflicted. I mentioned the evictions of Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer out of their congressional offices. Well, they still have homes to go to. I live here in Atlanta. There are 72,000 residential evictions from January to August. Here we are in October, and those evictions haven't slowed up yet. People are literally on the streets, and adding to that burden in major cities like Atlanta, Chicago, and New York, the southern border states are shipping migrants who are crossing over the border, 3 million since the beginning of the year, to cities like Chicago, New York, and San Francisco, where they're having all kinds of problems. How is it that we are importing poverty and not even solving the poverty issues here? Where are these people going to go? Relying on a state is just not a solution at this point in time. Rents are $2,000 a month. You are not going to be able to work enough low-income jobs to make up that difference. You are leaving your homes and your native countries and coming here to live on the streets. That is not good under any sort of policy. I don't care what your politics are. We cannot afford to import poverty. We already have enough here. Now, if there was a solution that could be had that would, keep those people from getting into the country illegally so we can adequately source the needs of what we have here available. There are plenty of jobs that you can have in this country, but you're just not going to find an agricultural job in the city of New York. So let's start with that. And before we go into our own political silos and how this issue has been championed by the Republicans or how that issue has been championed by the Democrats, why don't we have a common sense approach? Now, do not come to this page with that nonsense about political rancor. I just don't want to hear it. This is about the money. And where is the money coming from that is going to have to house these individuals, both domestic and imported, now that they're on the streets? Well, it comes from businesses and taxpayers like us. And until we get a sitting Speaker of the House, we can't even see where those tax dollars that we're paying, cannot be allocated. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Again, I'm warning you, don't come in here with that nonsense. Talk to you later.